5 Olympic team players in, so it won't be easy for them.
Of course, a couple of players from the Vietnamese team that we know from the AFC Champions League, from Dong Tam, Long Arm. It's M, the number 19, and 12, Phuong. They'll play in the centre of midfield together. If Vietnam have any chance tonight, you'd expect those two to have a fair share of possession to direct their team around the park. It's going to be a big ask for Vietnam, but they've got a vociferous crowd behind them. There has been talk of typhoon conditions, more monsoon conditions around this match, but the word out of Hanoi is that it's very hot, but still, which means it's going to be sapping conditions favouring the home team. And the UAE, runners-up in this competition in 1996 to Saudi Arabia. They are reigning Gulf Cup champions. They won that tournament that they hosted in January of this year. It's the first time they've won that. They've got a good history in the AFC Cup, AFC Champions League, AFC Asian Cup, I should say. I'm getting my competitions all mixed up. As Mohammed bin Hammam, the president of the AFC, works his way along with dignitaries down the line. Well, Ange, we saw Thailand last night. They got a great jump on Iraq and then struggled. You expecting a similar trend for Vietnam tonight?
Oh, look, they'd have to get off to a good start to give them any chance. You know, I know Anthony said that their coach has already written off their chances, but a little bit like Gabriel Calderon writing off Oman, we've seen what they're capable of. Look, they'll be competitive tonight. As I said, my personal feeling is that the UAE will be one of the teams to watch in this tournament, and I think they need to get off to a good start. I think that's the one thing we didn't do against Oman. I think the teams that get off to a good start tend to win these first games, and let's not forget UAE have got the coach with probably the greatest hairstyle in world football in Bruno Metsu. We'll no doubt get plenty of vision of him from the bench, and a very experienced coach.
Not just a great hairstyle, as if I'm one to talk, but he has got a great coaching record. He took Senegal through to the quarterfinals of the 2002 World Cup, and that really projected a lot of players onto European careers. He won the AFC Champions League with Al Ain at the first tilt in 2003. He's won the Gulf Cup now, which he says was his the big mandate from the bosses of football in the UAE, that they had to win the Gulf Cup. He's done that. Eyes firmly fixed on the Asian Cup now, and then World Cup qualifying beyond. Bruno Metsu, the Frenchman with the long hair, according to AFC President bin Hammam, he is the best coach in the world. So it's no small rap.
It isn't, and as you said, a great deal of experience. And again, you know, as I said, the talk will be about Australia not doing well tonight, but more evidence that tonight that the Asian sides can play football.
All right, well, they're ready for us now at the Dinh Stadium. We'll cross for the national anthems, after which this Group B match between the UAE and Vietnam will be brought to you by Brenton Speed and Paul Trimboli.
Quốc ca các tiểu vương quốc Ả Rập Thống Nhất.
And now the national anthems of Vietnam.
Quốc ca Việt Nam.
And it's a very warm welcome to our viewers on Fox Sports Australia who join us now, and wherever you're watching around the world, this promises to be an intriguing clash between Vietnam and the United Arab Emirates. Former Socceroo Paul Trimboli is alongside me. What are you expecting from this one?
Well, I think we'll see a cautious approach. Obviously, the excitement, the team's waiting in the tunnel a long time. A lot of pre-game rituals going on, a lot of introductions, a lot of dignitaries here tonight. But now the players, the moment they've been waiting for.
There are always predictions about the starting lineups, and Bruno Metsu has caught the UAE press off guard by naming 3 youngsters with just 11 caps between them in the starting lineup. 22-year-old Yusuf Jabber, who is the only member of the squad who's been playing in Qatar's second division, starts at left back, while teenagers Dada Mubarak and Mohammed Al-Shihi will patrol the flanks. The star is the man in the number 10 shirt, Ismail Mata. And the Vietnamese lineup was a lot easier to predict. The only spot up for grabs really was the goalkeeper, with Hong Sun beating out Quang Huy. 3 of the back 4, Van Nguyen, Nhu Tan and Quang Tan, play for runaway leaders in the B-League Bin Duong, while 3 members of the Olympic team are the men to watch, namely left winger Vu Phong and 21-year-old strikers Tan Bin and Kong Bin. The captains, Min Phuong and Abdul Rahim Juma, with the referee tonight, Talaat from Lebanon, the country which hosted the 1996 Asian Cup. And of course, all the substitutes can be used tonight. Of course, only a maximum of 3 substitutions, so all those men at the disposal of the rival coaches, Alfred Riedel and Bruno Metsu. Bruno Metsu was talking at the press conference yesterday, saying that he wished he didn't draw Vietnam in the first game in the group. He would have preferred to play them in the third game because they're such an unknown quantity. Would you agree with that, Paul Trimble?
I can see where he's coming from. Obviously, if you've got 2 group matches to see them play, because it's a different thing between friendly internationals and tournament play. Obviously, the UAE have played tournament football earlier this year, so there'll be plenty of footage of them in action. Vietnam, on the other hand, only friendlies leading into this tournament. Of
course, the weather conditions have been the big talking point ahead of this tournament, and it's still 31 degrees here, 7:35 p.m. local time. Humidity 70%. We had a huge storm a couple of nights back. The first typhoon of the season in Vietnam swept through when both of these teams were actually on the training paddock. And you could see the sweat during the national anthems on the players. It's really oppressive conditions. How will they deal with this?
I think we'll see probably play in bursts. I think both teams will try to keep possession of the ball as much as they can and probably try to hit on the break.
There's Bruno Metsu, a famous face from the 2002 World Cup when he led Senegal to the quarterfinals. Shock winners over France in the opening game. And they're the favourites to get a first up victory here tonight. As we wait for the Lebanese referee to get us underway, it will be the UAE in the white colours from the right to left of screen. And Alfred Riedel is the coach of the hosts, the Austrian 57-year-old, former top scorer in the Austrian League and Belgian leagues. The first touch is going to come from Halal Saeed in Group B, the 30-year-old midfielder, alongside the captain, Abdul Rahim Juma. Here's Ismail Mata, the undoubted star of the UAE. Mohammed Al-Shihi did well to find Yusuf Jabber. Vietnam starting out with 2 solid banks of 4. Abdul Rahman and Halal Saeed combined to get it away from Kong Vinh. Here's Yusuf Jabba, one of the surprise inclusions tonight. 22 years of age, only has 3 caps to his credit. He's already scored 2 goals, a handy return for a left back. There's another rising star of UAE football, Dada Mubarak, patrolling the right flank. And probably no surprise, given the conditions that everyone's talked about, that both coaches have gone with youthful teams, an average age of 25 for the UAE and 23 for Vietnam.
Definitely trying to get some young legs on that field. It's going to be a long 90 minutes, but you can tell already United Arab Emirates getting the ball, trying to get it into the feet of Ismail Mata, the star player. He's already had 2 or 3 great touches.
Vietnam back forward, just inviting the UAE to press forward. Quang Tan couldn't find Tan Thai on the right-hand side. It's Bashir Saeed, who's a real threat from set pieces as well. Centre back, wonderful springs on him. Through Mata. Nice turn. Here's the danger man, Ismail Mata. Closed down in the end, and the challenge that had to be made, and the Vietnamese fans rise. Here's Cong Vinh, who's Vietnam's star man. Huy Hoang says, let's get it out of here. Nice touch again from Cong Vinh. For one, his return ball created a few dramas in the UAE defence. You can see the goalkeeper Majid Nasser, after clearing that one, saying, guys, sort it out. Here's Min Phuong, Vietnamese captain, took the armband when Tai Em, his midfield partner, was injured earlier in the year. Hasn't relinquished it. Nice ball towards Cong Vinh and Tan Binh. Got in each other's way in the end. Pretty slow football at the moment, Paul Trimbolin.
Yes, as we expected, considering the conditions. I think there'll be a lot of these patches during the game, and then little bursts of play. Wonderful little cameo before from Ismail Mata. Used his body beautifully to manoeuvre one player out of position, then took the next player on to open up the shooting opportunity. I think we'll see a little bit more of that as the game unfolds, but wonderful excitement level in the crowd every time Vietnam go anywhere near their front half of the field.
Van Nguyen, one of 3 in the back 4 who play for Binh Duong, who lead by 10 points in the V-League. Almost certain to end Dong Tam Long An's stranglehold on the league title. Nice touch again from Cong Vinh. Tan Thai going to play the return ball. Here's Bu Phong. Tan Binh trying to get on the end of it and pressuring Abdul Rahman. Not sure he was trying to find Halal Saeed, but it worked out all right in the end. And here's Faisal Khalil putting Nu Tan under pressure. Ismail Mata, just with his presence, won the ball for UAE there. Steely glare from Alfred Riedel, the Austrian coach. Had a kidney transplant earlier this year. 80 Vietnamese locals came forward willing to donate one of their kidneys when they heard the news that Alfred Riedel was in trouble. And found a match. And he spent 70 days on leave as he overcame that operation. He's in charge until midway through next year, trying to get the team through to the Beijing Olympics. Here's Yusuf Jabber. Kong Vin tracking back. Well, he got a fair part of the ball, but the referee awards the free kick. And these are the situations where they prove pretty dangerous at the Gulf Cup.
That time it was Yusuf Jabber cutting inside. Kong Vin trying to get back, make the tackle, came in from behind. In modern football, always a free kick, referee in great position.
Ismail Mata will take the free kick, and look out for Saeed Bashir at the back post. They were angling the ball for him. Through to the keeper. And that's where the absence of Subayed Carter might be felt for the UAE. He was such a star off the bench sometimes at the Gulf Cup. His free kicks were exemplary. Set up numerous goals during that tournament, which of course the UAE won as hosts. First time they'd lifted that cup. And this man was hailed as the hero, Bruno Metsu. He's got a contract through to 2010. That's the UAE's main goal, is to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 1990. Nice ball. Here's Abdul Rahim Juma, the captain. He makes intelligent runs from midfield, and that was another one.
Yeah, wonderful ball into the channel too. The great defending. Credit the Vietnamese defender there. I think it was Van Nguyen. Just stood him up, refused to let him get the crossing.
Plenty of space out here for Tan Tai. Good determined effort from Mohammed Al-Shahi, winning the throw-in, just 19 years of age, the left winger. Here's Yusuf Jabber with a bit of space. Couldn't find the pass, and Halal Saeed just flew in and won the ball back for UAE.
That time it was Tan Tai hustling Al-Shahi out of the ball, and Al-Shahi, in his attempt to regain possession, fouled the Vietnamese player.
Here's Quang Tan, looking to pick out the run of Kong Vin, who did well to win a throw-in. Looked like pretty much a lost cause, but Bashir Saeed conceded the throw-in. Vietnam wary of putting too many players forward, trying to build things up, and that wasn't the best from Quang Tan, a 22-year-old right back. So 10 minutes gone and no real chances on goal at the Mai Dinh Stadium. It's that moment when Ismail Mata nearly lit up the stadium. A wonderful challenge in the end from Hui Huang saw off the danger. Firing that ball forward towards Mata. Most people thought Al-Awali would start in the left back position, but he's shown his versatility to move over to the right. The Al Wada man with 60 caps for his country. Here's Bu Fong, bit of an excitement machine. The left winger. Tan Tai couldn't find Tan Bin.
Both sides at the moment keeping a strict 4-4-2 and happy to concede possession in the opponent's half, setting back behind the halfway line, making it very, very difficult for either team to make any progress going forward.
Tan Bin has done well to find Tan Tai. The Kwang Tan. And the UAE, as you say, that they played 4-3-3 at the Gulf Cup on home ground, happy to be gung-ho. But here, they've really spoken about the discipline needed with 2 solid banks of 4 and then take your chances when they come.
Especially early on in the tournament, obviously important to get some points on the board. Systems change when desperation sets in later in the group stage, but obviously at the moment, both sides very cautious. Emirates know that they're the favourites to win this game, but still opting for the cautious start.
And Alfred Riedel, the Vietnamese coach, said yesterday, whoever loses this game, their tournament is basically over when you consider that Japan are in the group, of course. Here's Ismail Mata. He really does look like the class act on the field. That's not a bad try either. From long range from Mohammed Al-Shehi. Club teammate of Ismail Mata at Al Wada. Qualified for the knockout stages of the AFC Champions League.
There's been a few moments of enterprise so far, but all of them for the Emirates coming through Ismail Mata, former winner of the Golden Ball at the 2003 World Youth Cup, and 5 goals and MVP at the recent Golf Cup, so quite a pedigree.
And plenty of people believe a European move isn't far away, and this is a great shop window for him. He travelled to Barcelona and Milan recently with his agent just to check out those cities. He'd be doing well to rock up at a club like that.
Nothing like setting the sights high.
Here's Mata again, and he's won a free kick, surely. Referee puts the whistle to the mouth and says Vietnam can have the free kick.
Yeah, this time tussling on the ball there. Lots of strength shown by Israel Mata. Then in the end, guilty of obstruction, I think, and not moving out of the way when the other player had possession of the ball. Hai Huong.
Yeah, the elbow in the back. I think Mata had a case for a free kick, which would have been a handy position for the UAE. Here's Abdul Rahim Juma finding Faisal Khalil. 2 of the stars from that Gulf Cup win. It's Faisal Khalil, Ismail Mata and Mohammed Omar, who played up front in the 4-3-3 system. Omar, who was the captain at the Gulf Cup, said this is a pretty good note to go out on as he lifted the trophy high. So they're without him and without 5 players who were key members of that Gulf Cup victory. So Bruno Metsu very much rebuilding here, and putting out some exciting young talent. We hope to see more from them throughout this 90 minutes. It's a foul from one of the teenagers, Mohammed Al-Shehi. He's not a teenager, in case you were wondering. Halal Saeed, the 30-year-old. Second oldest man on the pitch behind Rashid Abdul Rahman. And here's a good situation for Vietnam. Going to be Quang Tan to swing this one in. Hong Vin and Tan Bin will be the targets. Not a bad ball either. Tan Bin got a touch just wide of Majid Nasser's goal.
Yeah, wonderful ball played in. Quang Tan drifting it in behind the defence. Vietnamese striker there. Tan Bin getting to the ball first. Just a slight glancing header. Didn't get enough on it. Best opportunity of the game so far.
He'll be a hard man to pass as well, Majid Nasser. Goalkeeper of the year in the Qatari League for Al Wasl, and goalkeeper of the tournament at the Gulf Cup, unsurprisingly, with his team lifting the trophy.
man used to success. The domestic double with his club side also.
Ismail Mata just drifting out to the left. Here's Haider Al-Awali. First touch wasn't the best. He managed to win the ball back. Here's Mata. He's given a free licence to roam by Bruno Metsu. Abdul Rahim Juma. Here's Sheehy. Foul conceded by Quang Tan. Again, a dangerous situation.
Al-Sheehy there showing some strength, holding off the Vietnamese player, who was a little unlucky. I think Al-Sheehy stood on the ball. Too aggressive in his approach, though. Quang Tan.
He's already had one go from here, Ismail Mata. Almost the same blade of grass. What can he do with this free kick? Man down in the box. Referee says play on. And Vietnam see off the danger, and their crowd are roaring everything that the Vietnamese do. Ismail Mata is offside.
Very influential Mata. Everything so far going through him. That time the set piece. The in-swinging ball, always a danger, curving into the goalkeeper. Vietnamese defence a little lucky there. Ball fell. They were able to clear it.
You mentioned he was player of the tournament at the 2003 World Youth Cup. Some of the other players on the short list: Javier Mascherano, Aruna Kone and Andreas Iniesta. Again, Mata drops into midfield. Tries to angle the ball with the outside of the foot. Faisal Khalil nearly got on the end of it, and he applauds the inventiveness of Mata.
Absolutely brilliant bit of vision there from Mata, and then the execution with the outside of the right foot. Becoming more and more influential, dropping deeper to pick up possession.
Setting off on a run is Dada Mubarak. Tracks down the pass from Juma. Nice turn as well. Right under the assistant referee's nose, who said play on. Here's Quang Tan. Got Pong Vin forward, only as far as Halal Saeed. Mubarak slipped, and here's a chance for Vietnam to counter-attack. Du Phong, referee, paid a good advantage there. Here's Kong Vin, and back for the strike from Tai Am. It's the best moment of the match, Vietnam.
Yeah, best moment of the match from free play, brought about by the turnover from the Emirates. Lovely work there, holding it up, Kong Van, and then laid it off into the path of Tai Am. Hit it with enough power, but never enough accuracy.
Still no goals in Group B in Hanoi at the My Dinh Stadium with 20 minutes gone. Ismail Mata wins the free kick. Again, it's slow motion stuff. All the way back to Abdul Rahman. And Bashir Saeed. Here's Faisal Khalil, who nearly brought it down. And all the way through for a goal kick.
Lovely angled ball over the back of the defence. Bashir Saeed putting it in behind the defence. Because Khalil seemed for an instant like he had possession, just slid off his chest at the last minute. Lovely 50-yard diagonal ball from the central defender.
A good rise, and Tan Bin got on the end of it. Good covering from Haider Al-Awali. And a mistake from Majid Nasser, which won't do the confidence any good. He has to concede a throw-in the end. Wouldn't expect to see that from Majid Nasser. Min Fuong. Kong Vin looked like he was chasing a lost cause for a moment. Abdul Rahman had to clean up the danger. Here's Kwang Tan, who's got Vu Fong in a little bit of space. Taking on Haider Al-Awali, who did well in the end.
Loss of concentration there. Majid Nasser looking up to see what he wanted to do with the ball. Forgot he had to control it first. Lucky for him, there was no pace on it. May have been embarrassing for the goalkeeper.
Yusuf Jabba was looking for Ismail Mata, but there wasn't really a pass on. Haider Al-Awali this time with the slipper. Here's Kong Vin. He's got Vu Fong again on the left. Tan Bin waiting on the edge of the 18-yard box. Straight through to Yusuf Jabba. Here's Tayyem, who hasn't seen much of the ball. Not a bad pass. And Tai back to Kwang Tan. They're combining all right down the right-hand side. No pressure being applied by the UAE. Vietnam doing as they please for the moment. Kong Vin running into the channel. Not a bad ball either to Min Fuong. Lal Saeed nips in. Tayyem with the outside of the right foot. A wonderful ball to Tan Tai. Yusuf Jabba defended well and then gave it straight back. Here's Tayyem. Kong Vin wants it at feet. Lovely 1-2. Tayyem couldn't quite take it in his path. Again, the pass is poor. Wants a penalty. The referee is going to go over and give Tayyem a yellow card for diving. The former captain of the Vietnamese team. The crowd went up. They thought they had a penalty.
We saw it then. Al-Shahi sloppy. Left the back pass short. Tayyem was onto it quickly. Drew the man in. It was Jabba. He did well not to concede the penalty kick. It looked for all money as though he was going to get the touch on the player. Tayyem was totally expecting it. He allowed his body to go limp, expecting the tackle to come. Jabba, wonderful awareness of where he was in the field of play.
And you have to say, that's a wonderful decision from our referee. We saw a host nation last night get a soft penalty, Thailand. Tonight, there was no such thing for Vietnam. There's Faisal Khalil trying to get on the end of things again, but through for a goal kick, and a wonderful decision, that yellow card. You could see the angle that he had, where he could have been lost in vision.
Yeah, no, very good refereeing, and the home vocal support went up as one, hoping for the penalty kick. But the Emirates guilty of some sloppy passages of play in the last 10 minutes. Don't know whether they're starting to fatigue, but just careless passing, turning the ball over in dangerous positions, giving the Vietnamese team the confidence in the front area.
Just on the wrong wavelength with Tan Bin. Provides a chance for the UAE. And Juma, who can stride away, wins a pretty soft free kick in the end. Hui Hwang. And Bashir Saeed is walking forward. He packs a punch with long-range free kicks.
Yeah, Hwang did a good job there. Didn't allow Juma to go past him. Just too much of an aggressive body check for the referees, who again was in great position.
You can see Ismail Mada over the ball, but Bashir Saeed is just off to the right. He doesn't mind trying his luck from long range. Well, it does look like Ismail Mada might be going direct here. The referee says, wait for my whistle. I'll get the ball back the full 10 yards. And Vietnam awake to that threat from Bashir Saeed. Ismail Mada. Testing the keeper and just wide of Hong Sun's left-hand post.
Yeah, wonderful contact on the ball there from Ismail Mada. Difficult trying to beat the keeper on his side. Tried to bend it into the corner. Tried to catch the goalkeeper coming across to his right-hand side. A couple of metres wide.
Sustained possession that the UAE needed after those dodgy touches, but as I mentioned, that Juma gives it away. And the Vietnamese coach Alfred Riedel has been playing down their chances, saying we hope to cause a surprise, but we've got to be realistic. At the moment, as this game is progressing, they've got to be thinking we can get a point here at least.
Definitely after the first 10 minutes they've really come into this game, albeit on the back of some sloppy errors from the Emirates, but that will give them a lot of confidence.
Tai Em again knew that there was no space for Tan Tai. Back to Quang Tan. Tried to play it to the feet of Kong Vin, and here's a chance for Faisal Khalil. Ismail Mada is hardly bursting into the area for him. Faisal Khalil goes his own and just wide. What a save from Hong Sun. Got the smallest touch on it, and it was just enough to send that one wide.
Wonderful, wonderful goalkeeping there from Hong Sun. But it was that situation, it was the clearance out of desperation that found itself to Khalil. He got the lucky ricochet from the defender, I think it was Quang Tan, and then drove the ball hard and low, left foot. Wonderful save, Hong Sun.
And his selection vindicated right there.
And it was one of those moments we saw just when Vietnam started to commit some bodies forward, something they've been reluctant to do, and they nearly paid the price.
Ismail Mata eventually takes the corner. Kong Vin played that very intelligently. It was an ambitious ball to Vu Phong, who was the furthest forward for Vietnam. Still no goals here at the My Dinh Stadium, but weren't we close through Faisal Khalil. And that selection battle I mentioned, he beat out Quang Huy. Many of the locals thought that Quang Huy would be the man between the posts, but Hong Sun, who kept 2 clean sheets at the ASEAN Championships earlier this year, one out, and what a save that was. World class. Son again just growing in confidence, nonchalantly out to Van Nien. foul on Ismail Mata. He's sure to win plenty of free kicks as this tournament progresses. Got some wonderful flicks and tricks to get away from defenders. Abdul Rahman floating it forward to Bashir Saeed. Hong Sun again, confident goalkeeping. Min for Wong, lovely touch. Trying to send it through to Tan Bin. And the veteran defender Abdul Rahman clears his line. There's Kong Bin. A challenge from Halal Saeed. He took all ball and he needed to. Tyen's got Vu Fong in plenty of space. Overlapping is Van Yen. Vu Fong on his right foot.
That time Vu Fong cutting in from that left wing position. Had his skipper Min For Wong in the middle three, opted to take the shot early, dragged it wide of the near post. Moments earlier, the first time we've really seen the influence of Min For Wong. Wonderful performance we saw in the Asian Champions League in Australia recently. That time, a lovely bit of play in the centre of the park, nearly set up an opening.
The Dong Tam Long An midfielder. Jumo just slides it through to Khalil, who turned away beautifully. And the referee is going to award a yellow card to Nutan, who's pretty thankful that he saw yellow as well, because it was a cynical challenge on Faisal Khalil, who just turned in pretty easily.
Now, a wonderful bit of improvisation there. Faisal Khalil, he sensed that the defender Nutan was going to be right up behind him, allowed the ball to run through his legs, and then turned and was through. Looked like he would be on for a chance on goal. Lovely little dummy there, through his own legs, then through Nutan's legs, and just in desperation more than anything, stuck out, pulled the player down.
And he's lucky Van Yen was coming across in cover, otherwise the referee might have thought twice about which card to show. But Ismail Mata, he's a little bit closer than he was before when he sent it wide of the post. And get one on target. Bashir Saeed might try his luck. Straight into the wall. It was pretty weak in the end, and an interesting run-up. He's still in the box though. Here's Juma. Back to Halal Saeed. Doesn't score many goals.
Wonderful bit of defending from Nutan there. We saw him get absolutely skinned by Khalil earlier. That time, wonderful desperate block. This was the attempt there from Bashir Saeed. It was an unusual run-up. He was a loping stride. Almost looked like he was going to run across the ball and leave it for Ismail Mata. At the end, he struck it himself. Never looked like clearing the wall.
Looked like he should have been a long jumper. A high jumper on the athletics track that surrounds this stadium. He really came at it from a bizarre angle. He's onside, Kong Vin. Nearly found its way through to Vu Fong. Here's Tyen. There's rapid-fire pinball stuff, and it found its way out to Juma, who settles things down. Fouls in the game so far, and the lion's share from the hosts. Pretty comfortable for Van Yen. Couldn't believe he had all that time and space. Vu Fong and Kong Vin, two of the Olympic team members. Here's Ismail Mata playing it forward to Faisal Khalil. Good scrambling clearance from Hui Huang. Here's Min Fuong, who can pick out a pass. Just floats it to Kong Bin. The crowd rise. He's the favourite son of Vietnamese football. Kong Bin just got underneath it.
There was a lovely little ball played into him by Min Fuong. Delicate chip ball, brought down nicely by Kong Bin. Eluded a couple of tacklers, then chose to take the shot. Didn't really have his balance. Skied it. At the other end, Faisal Khalil, Ismail Mata starting to connect. Looking very, very dangerous.
And Faisal Khalil just out of screen, has just changed his shorts, and the assistant referee is keeping him on the sidelines for the moment at least. So they're down to 10 very briefly. The UAE. There's Dada Mubarak, hasn't really been in the game of late. Links with Yusuf Jabbat. Now Sheehy tried to find the return ball. And what a run in the end by Hui Huang.
That time, Hui Huang using the body. Could have been almost a foul there. Yusuf Jabba a little bit unlucky. Huang a little bit too aggressive. Ran right past the ball. Shepherded his player away. Won the goal kick.
Min Fuong, such reassurance when he's on the ball. Really is one of the class acts out there on the pitch. Bruno Metsu, coach of the United Arab Emirates, will be a little concerned about the way they've started. Those lackadaisical touches we saw earlier, both the goalkeeper and Haider Al-Awali. But they have had their chances, mainly through Faisal Khalil. Juma just gives that one away. There's Dada Mubarak, back to Haider Al-Awali. Saeed looking for Khalil. Tan Tai. Here's Min Fuong. Again, a lovely ball waving into the path of Tan Tai. Tan Ben, an audacious try. He's capable of goals like that. And that would have been special.
Yeah, wonderful movement. Best passage of play for the night by Vietnam. Again, it was the captain, Min Fuong. Lovely weighted ball. And then the cross whipped in. And Tan Ben, no hesitation, launched himself into the scissor kick. Didn't quite connect. A wonderful combination play again between Min Fuong, Tan Tai on his right-hand side.
And the crowd just calming down after that one. I'm joining them as well. Oh, that would have been amazing.
Magnificent athleticism.
The pace of Dada Mubarak. Not enough to win a throw-in off Van Yen, who played it very coolly. Here's Tayam. Fong has Min Fuong. You can see why he kept the captain's armband after Tayam came back. He's such an influence on this team, a calming influence, Min Fuong. Hong Sun on his non-preferred. Only as far as Al-Sheehy. Tan Bin won it back for Vietnam. Tan Tai fires it towards Kong Bin. Again, just one of those moments when the UAE are happy to take the sting out of the game. Haider Al-Awali with the long ball towards Faisal Khalil. Again, with two defenders against him, it's pretty much a lost cause. We've seen what he can do with the ball to feet, though, with that lovely turn earlier.
Yeah, they have looked better, the Emirates, when they've played through midfield and got Marta involved. Several times they've tried that long ball. Only the once it looked like coming off, and Bashir Saeed found Khalil. Every other time he's been outnumbered.
Min Fuong again with an accurate ball to Vu Fong. Kong Vin is just asking for the ball to be played into his path. Instead, it's Vu Fong who never really got a purchase on it, and Kong Vin is wondering why he didn't get the pass.
Yeah, the striker pulled off deep there. Looked set to run onto a ball if it was laid square. But Vu Fong only had eyes for goals. That's the second time we've seen that this half. But again, it was lovely instigation from Min Fuong. Just a lovely little weighted ball into the path of Vu Fong, who's been coming in off that left flank quite regularly.
Kong Vin scored 2 goals in the recent friendly against Bahrain, which sent some shockwaves through the Gulf countries when they saw that Vietnam had put 5 past Bahrain. The coach Milan Makala said that he was happy to offer some advice on how to beat the UAE to his old friend Alfred Riedel. He ended up leaving with his tail between the legs on the end of a 5-3 scoreline, although Alfred Riedel has been at pains to point out that the goalkeeper gifted them a couple of those goals and it should really have been a draw. There's Juma to Khalil. Juma again. Khalil tees himself up for the volley.
Yeah, lovely interplay again, and that's where we've seen the Emirates at their best. When they play the ball through midfield, keep it on the deck. That time the combination between Juma and Khalil. Khalil flicking the ball up, looking for the outrageous volley. It would have been some goal if it come off. But that definitely has been their best passage when they come through the middle, keep the ball on the deck. The wings really haven't been any avenue to any of their forward play. The two youngsters brought in to use their pace haven't had much of an influence. Vietnam, on the other hand, getting quite a lot of joy. Tan Thai down this right and Vu Phuong on the left. Seen plenty of the ball.
Yusuf Jabber again, only Khalil to aim at, and Hong Sun has done everything asked of him, the Vietnamese goalkeeper. Al-Shehi trying to slide it through to Dada Mubarak, his fellow teenager. Found its way through, but the man they call Dada couldn't get on the end of it. Here he is, though, with a neat turn to get away from his man. Al-Shehi. It's set up invitingly.
That time Al-Shehi not getting any joy, hugging the touchline on the left, cut inside. Tried to slip the ball through the Vietnamese defender's legs, got the lucky ricochet and took the shot early.
There's going to be 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. And the local fans will be delighted. But they're still level in the opening match of Group B. Games against Japan and Qatar to come, of course, before the top 2 teams go through to the quarterfinals. Can Mata come up with something in the stoppage time at the end of the first half? There's Al-Shehi drifting more and more central. Min Phuong finds Tan Binh. There's Taiyam, lovely little jink, and the referee goes to his pocket again. Haider Al-Awali in the book now.
There's a lovely burst of acceleration there from Taiyam. got the ball from Tan Bin near the halfway line, then just strode forward, took it straight at Haider Al-Ali. Time was too quick for him, drew the tackle. Ty Bin just towed it off to him, then all of a sudden Ty M just accelerated past Saeed in midfield. Threw a nice little dummy, then went past Al-Ali, who left the foot there.
So Vietnam pressing at the end of the first half. Here's Tan Bin. Nice little turn away. A weak shot in the end. And the UAE, after seeing that 1 minute of stoppage time go up, just relaxed for a moment. And Vietnam nearly caught them napping. But the referee has blown for half-time here at the Dinh Stadium in Hanoi. Faisal Khalil had the best chance for the visitors. A wonderful save from Hong Sun. And there haven't been too many threats to Majid Nasser's goal. So at half-time here at the Dinh Stadium, it's Vietnam 0, UAE 0.
He would have probably been a bit concerned early on, had his goalkeeper to thank for keeping the score at 0-0, but probably saw enough going forward to have a little bit of confidence that his team may be able to get something from this match.
It's going to be interesting to see what he's said to Vu Phong. Of course, he plays on the right side of midfield for his club team, Bin Dawong, but because of absences due to match fixing and injury, the left side is a little bit weakened for Vietnam. So the coaches asked Vu Phong to patrol the left-hand side, and we saw some moments where he's more at home on the right foot, didn't we, in the first half?
Definitely. He was hugging that left touchline, but often when the ball came to him, he turned inside on the right foot, which opened up the shooting angle. Didn't get any shots on target, but I probably would like him to open it up to the left.
There is Vu Phong on the ball. Second half underway. Vietnam in the red strip and the UAE in the white. Allow Saeed, who cleaned up so much for the UAE in the first half. Nice turn from Al Shihi. Ismail Matter is onside. Plays the easy ball to Yusuf Jabber. And that was a poor ball. Hong Sun, such a star for the hosts in the first half. A wonderful save from Faisal Khalil. Again, Saeed cleans up the danger. At the Gulf Cup in January, he lasted just 30 minutes in the opening game for Al Saeed. He saw a red card. They lost to Oman. But then, remarkably, they went through and faced Oman again in the final and won the trophy. Van Yen looking for Tan Bin. He tried that audacious bicycle kick in the first half. Mubarak just set off on a run down the right-hand flank, but he was ignored. Ball played to the feet of Matter instead. We did mention in the first half that they look much better playing the ball to feet, and looks like Bruno Metsu may have mentioned that himself. Lovely ball from Ismail Matter with the outside of the right, looking for Khalil. Hui Hwang saw the danger off.
A lovely combination again. Khalil running in the channel, Mata with the touch.
Yusuf Jabber. Bad ball. Khalil appealing that he was being held in the box. Min Fawong again. He is a delight to watch. Not only wins the ball, but finds a teammate as well. Here he is again, Min Fawong. Linking with Tan Tai. Hong Bin running into the channel. Abdul Rahman really does get his angles right, the veteran, in the centre of defence for the UAE. But Kong Vin's going to keep running at him. And will the 31-year-old run out of legs? The Al Jazeera centre-back. Again, the ball played to feet. Mata allowed to turn. Link with Juma, might try his luck. Never got hold of it.
Ambitious effort there from Juma, some 35 yards.
Tan Tai and Quang Tan were influential down the right-hand side in the first half, getting a few early touches here in the second. Again, Mata getting on the ball more and more and turning away from Min Fuong. And perhaps because he's got the captain's armband on, he misses out on the yellow card.
Yeah, it's amazing some players seem to avoid things. Stuck the arm out there, clothesline style. Caught Mata. Mata took him for pace. He saw that Min Fuong was flat-footed. No hesitation, took him on. Cynical tackle there from the Vietnamese captain. Lucky to avoid the going in the book.
Ismail Mata will be looking for Bashir Saeed at the back post. Here is Saeed. And well defended in the end, out for a corner. And they're not sure that it shouldn't have been a goal kick, but Bashir Saeed has won a corner for the visitors.
Yeah, wonderful run from Bashir Saeed to the far post. Mata trying to find him, but then credit some wonderful defending. I think it was New Tan just staying with his man, backing into him, not allowing Saeed to get a free header.
They do have a height advantage. Ismail Mata will look to explore that opportunity. And the ball went out from the corner from Mata.
A heavy whip on the ball there from Mata. Unfortunately, started off outside the park, but it curled right in, ended up on the edge of the 6-yard box, the far post.
Min Fuong, a dangerous ball that time. It's cut out by Dada Mubarak. Bit of space for the youngster. Finds Juma. Nice ball in the end to Al-Shihi. And another corner for UAE. Their third corner of the match. Vietnam yet to have one. We haven't seen anything really clinical from a set-piece opportunity from Ismail Mata as yet. And the header from Faisal Khalil went straight back to Mata. And a glancing blow would surely have brought the opener. Had a frustrating night, Faisal Khalil.
Keeps finding himself in good position. That time made the run into the 6-yard box. Curving corner from Mata. Found him. Just didn't get the technique right. Too much of the head on it. Ended up back at the kicker. Wonderful opportunity. The Emirates have started this second half very, very impressive. They seem like they're confident to push on a little bit more than they did in the first half. Perhaps feeling that they're going to make the 90-minute mark with some energy.
He's normally pretty clinical, Faisal Khalil. 12 goals in his 53 caps for the UAE. He scored 18 goals with Al Ahly last season. He's not afraid of finding the back of the net, but it hasn't quite happened for him tonight. There's a chance for the hosts to press. Van Nien looking for Tan Binh. Awkward clearance, fell for Min Fuong. Shot was blocked by Halal Saeed. Here's an ambitious try. Here's a chance to open. And Tan Binh took 2 touches, and Najm did it comfortably in the end.
Wonderful opportunity for Vietnam to open the scoring. It was messy play initially, resulted in the ball falling. I think it was Vu Phong, hit the shot well. The keeper made a great save. And then Tan Bin seemed to take too long. Thought he might hit it first time. The keeper seemed to be stranded. Wanted to take the extra touch and try to make sure they got no power whatsoever on the second shot, straight at the goalkeeper. What a wonderful opportunity.
Here is Tan Bin. Tries his luck from long range this time. But he had a great moment, a great chance just moments ago.
Vu Phong from the edge of the box. Credit to goalkeeper Nasser. But then Tan Bin perhaps should have gone with the left foot. Tried to come back onto his stronger right foot. Then didn't get any purchase on the ball at all. Made it easy for Nasser. Then a couple of moments later, another half chance, dragging the ball wide of the near post.
Goals from Tan Bin and Cong Vinh are the reason that Vietnam are through to the final stages of qualifying ahead of the Beijing Olympics next year. He also scored in the recent friendly win over Bahrain. So his confidence is high, but as you say, he should really have taken that first time on the left and trusted his non-preferred. Again, Mata fouled. This time by Hui Huang.
So good in the tight areas, Ismail Mata draws a lot of free kicks. Defenders think they're going to win the ball. He's just got that ability to move it at the last second. Shots on target. Vietnam 3, UAE 1.
Not many would have expected to see a discrepancy like that before kickoff. The hosts a real chance here. And here's a moment. Bashir Saeed off a long run. All the way through to Hong Sun. He gathers at the second attempt.
Again, the long run-up. Bashir Saeed, very deliberate. Almost stiff in his run-up, in his approach. Didn't get the contact he wanted. No problems for Hong Sun.
It's an aimless ball.
Yeah, the long run-up, hit with the left foot. He almost turned away before the keeper made the save. He knew he didn't get enough on it to trouble the goalkeeper.
Hong Sun had a good look at it through the two-man wall as well, which split invitingly for him. Good pace run by Taiyam. And Vu Phong did well to track that one down. Hand tie to Taiyam and Min Fuang. Lovely first-time ball from Vu Phong into the path of Quang Tan. The right fullback found himself on the edge of the 18-yard box and didn't quite know what to do with it.
Lovely interpassing there from Vietnam. 4 or 5 players involved in the move. The ball got spread wide and then the wrong option. Quang Tan found himself in a lovely position. He needed to whip that ball hard across the edge of the 6-yard box. There was 3 Vietnamese players in the penalty area. Chose to go for glory.
Again, UAE turn it over. And a nice turn from Tan Bin. It's with Taiyam who gives it away as well. Back to Juma. Mata did well to feed it through to Dada. The return ball to Ismail Mata, and that is surely a penalty. The danger man for UAE has gone down, and he's awarded the free kick outside the box, has he?
I think he's given it right on the edge of the penalty area. Contentious decision. On first viewing, looked as though he was well in the box, but sometimes when the pace of the player takes him in after the touch. Be interesting to see the replay of that, but again it was sloppy play in midfield by Vietnam, turning the ball over. And then we saw Mata again, that strength, turned his man and played the 1-2. Looked like he was clear on goal.
And again, just a yellow card for Quang Tan, who can consider himself very lucky indeed.
Very, very lucky there. Ismail Mata looked as though he lured the last player in, took the ball past him with a lovely touch, then was taken out of the play.
Such is his finishing ability. Ismail Mata would have stunk that one away if he'd been allowed to stay on his feet. And here is a chance from just outside the box to open the scoring here at the Dinh Stadium. Hong Sun has been inspired. Mata just curls that one for the top corner. Just too high. But let's have a look at that penalty incident from just moments ago. Was it a penalty or was it a free kick?
Again, looked like a wonderful decision from the referee. And here's the free kick. Lovely technique. Bent it over the wall. Just couldn't get it down in time. Landed on the roof of the net.
He is having an absolute blinder, the Lebanese referee. When you see players fall into the box that far, often there's only one decision. A tackle from behind from Juma and Buffon. Again, the captain's armband prevents a yellow card being shown. Or does it? He is going in the book.
Delayed decision there by the referee, perhaps just waiting to see if the Vietnamese player was all right. Again, an example there of Buffon cutting inside. As we said, starting on that left-hand side, more comfortable going to his right, cutting in. Juma trying desperately to get back and tackle from behind, outlawed in the modern game. Good decision again.
Here's Buffon on the right foot. Good ball too. And a good defensive header from Juma. Nice ball to the feet of Taiyam. Here's Quang Tan. Almost found its way through to Tan Binh. Back to Min for one. And Najm Nasser hops on the monkey bars.
Again, it was lovely interplay from the Vietnamese team. Quang Tan, I think it was, getting into that right-hand side. He does that so well, that overlap. This time chose to cut the ball back. Probably learned from his previous mistake. It eventually fell from Min Phuong. Couldn't keep the shot down, but lovely passing again.
So an hour gone here at the Dinh Stadium. Who is going to unlock things here? Ismail Mata has looked a threat. So has Vu Phong for Vietnam. Both teams have had their chances. Asking a lot of Dada Mubarak. And Bruno Metsu getting more and more desperate here. And when we see substitutions around the hour, surely the first isn't too far away. Nice touch again from Buffon. Here's Kong Bin cutting inside. Right try, black Kong Bin. Straight at the keeper. His idol is Luis Figo. We've seen Figo finish from that position before, curling them with the right foot. Here was his chance.
Yeah, saw what he was trying to do, just didn't get enough on the ball, which has been a problem all night. But again, some enterprising play on the flanks by Vietnam.
Taiyam saw Tan Thai in plenty of space, but couldn't pick him out. It's Faisal Khalil, well defended in the end from Quy Hoang. Tan Thai has been very good on that right-hand side for Vietnam. Hong Bin saying just rolled into my path and we're away again. Instead they switch it up. And Bin offers himself. Mata again, a lovely ball. Here's Faisal Khalil. This time he doesn't test the keeper.
Yeah, Reid will be getting a little bit concerned about the influence of Mata starting to have in this game. That time, releasing Khalil with a lovely ball. He wanted to take the shot earlier. We saw what he was trying to do, but got it horribly wrong.
Taiyam to Van Nguyen. Tries a few tricks on Haider Al-Awali, who's on a yellow card, of course. And Van Nguyen's persistence, one out. Van Nguyen on the run. Abdul Rahman with the clearance. Very nearly unlocked by the left back for Vietnam. Here's Min Phuong. Can pick a pass and did very well to Tan Binh. Stays on his feet and here's the a shock is on the cards. It's Quang Tan, the right back, popped up in the 18-yard box, and my Dinh Stadium is going crazy.
And no surprise, it was Min Phuong with the lovely little lifted pass. He was looking for Tan Binh. He got in a tangle with Rashid Abdul Rahman. That's, I think, what the UAE players are complaining about. They felt there may have been a foul when the two came together, but after that, it fell invitingly. Here we go, beautiful ball here. Min Phuong into the path, the miss-hit there, then the collision. And then it was Quang Tan who kept on running. Tan Binh and Rahman coming together, then it fell invitingly. Quang Tan, we said he's been getting forward into some dangerous positions and choosing the wrong option in the pass. That time, he only had one option, stick it past the goalkeeper, and the crowd absolutely erupted on their feet here.
What a special moment for Quang Tan, just 22 years of age, the Bindawong right back. And as you say, he started that move in his own half and just kept on running, chanced his arm, and the ball fell for him. Vietnam were considered one of the weakest of the hosts. You're always at your most vulnerable when you've scored a goal. And Juma nearly opened them up. Instead, they can break. Vu Phong looking for Tan Tai.
And we talked about Min Phuong and his influence on this team. What a wonderful ball he played there. He just lifted it with the outside of the foot beautifully into the path of Tan Binh, who got the finish horribly wrong, let's make no mistake, and then actually collided with Rahman, which in fact ended up making the goal.
Here he is, Min Phuong. Pulling out all the tricks now. Didn't really need to flick it up to himself there, but he still maintained possession. Here's Quang Binh. He flicks one up as well. And Min Phuong saw the overlapping run from Tan Tai. Crowd getting right into this one now. Unfortunate from Tan Tai. Here's Ismail Mata. Always a danger when he's on the ball. Dada Mubarak did well to maintain possession for the UAE. Juma, the captain. Well shielded by Nutan, but let's have a look at the goal again.
Here's the finish from Quang Tan, emphatic across the keeper into the far post. And then it was Majid Nasser, not happy at all, in the face of the referee, who had no hesitation in pulling out the yellow card. I think he was complaining about the potential, the foul he felt was Tan Binh on Abdul Rahman.
What do you think about the foul? Every right to let it go, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was incidental contact.
Hyder Al-Awali working in confined spaces and winning a free kick well for the Emiratis, who have to come from a goal down. Bruno Metsu, of course, when Senegal took on France in the opening game of the World Cup, he pulled off the shot. Now he might be on the end of a shot.
And hasn't the intensity in the atmosphere lifted?
And look at this chance for Quang Binh. He's got players making willing runs. I wanted to put that into the path of Tan Tai, perhaps. Quang Binh looking for the return ball, shielded it well and set up Tan Binh, who should have made it 2-0 for Vietnam. Still a chance, Min Phuong. Well, Vietnam could have just about wrapped up the 3 points.
Absolutely brilliant play. Quang Binh out to the wide player, I think it was Tan Tai, and kept running, and what a lovely ball back in, and then he flicked it just into the path of Tan Binh, who's having a horror patch.
Good defending. Tai Em was calling those players who burst forward back to defend. You've got to hold this 1-0 lead. Vietnam, they're the underdogs here. They're on the verge of a major victory. What a moment for Tan Binh. They're shell-shocked, the Emiratis.
It was wonderful attacking play again from Vietnam. The ball flicked into the path of Tan Binh. He couldn't finish. Then it fell beautifully, and you thought if there was anyone who was going to finish from there, it'd be Min Phuong, and he lifted his shot over the crossbar. Wonderful play. Kong Van in the heart of it.
He's done well here, Al Sheehy. Al Sheehy still. Couldn't really find an angle for a pass, and the defending from Vietnam was desperate.
There's some wonderful individual skill from Al Sheehy. Perhaps could have pulled the trigger earlier and cut the ball back. In the end, was hassled out of it.
Poor pass. Phu Phong chased it down in the end. Here's Tai An. See the confidence levels rising. And here's the left back going on a run when they're up 1-0. Van Nien. And he offered the ball nearly back into the path, Abdul Rahman. Stretched out the long leg to see off the danger. Dada Mubarak, a 19-year-old. Surprise inclusion in the starting lineup. Doesn't really have an influence tonight. This man has. Ismail Mata. He's onside. Faisal Khalil. Here's Al Sheehy cutting inside his man. Got a second bite at it. Still couldn't get a shot away on target, but he's won a corner.
Coach of the Vietnamese team there. A little concerned, pressure mounting on his defence, but wonderful team defending there. 3 Vietnamese defenders swarming over Al Sheehy as he shaped up to shoot. Smuggled it away for a corner.
Quang Tan was staying down and looked like he might need some assistance. The referee is just sending the medical man back off the field, and we're going to have our first substitution, and unsurprisingly it's coming from the visitors. Khaled Darwish, who many people thought would start, is on for Dada Mubarak. Darwish is a free kick specialist as well, but Ismail Mata takes the corner, flicked on by Juma. Cleared in the end only as far as Halal Saeed. Here's Darwish, the new man. Not a bad ball either. A little tug on the shirt. And Faisal Khalil, who went down. If there was no tug, I reckon he would have got on the end of it. Bruno Metsu was saying we should have had a penalty there.
Oh, it definitely looked like there was some contact from the Vietnam defender. It was a lovely little first touch, wasn't it, from Darwish? He's only been on the park 10 seconds. Lovely little curving ball looking for Khalil. And it looked, I'd like to see a replay of that, but Faisal Khalil looked as though he was held back.
Najm Nasser had an ordinary touch in the first half, and that was agricultural at best. It's still fallen for Al Sheehy, and had Mata in a bit of space if he'd rolled into his path. And here's the moment.
Lovely ball in from Darwish, curving ball, definite grab of the shirt there. Hoang very, very fortunate to get away with that. Didn't hold the shirt long, but it definitely was a touch. Much to the consternation of the bench and the players for the UAE.
Some of those breaks that go for a host nation. The UAE got theirs when they won the Gulf Cup in January. And Vietnam getting a few breaks tonight. They certainly deserve their goal. Phu Phong with a little nutmeg pass to Van Nien. Abdul Rahman again in a tower of strength at the back. Juma and Mata. Again the early ball seen off by Quy Hoang. Min Phuong has got Kong Binh in plenty of space. The keeper advances, and Kong Binh. What a moment for the 21-year-old striker. Are the 3-point safe now?
Wonderful finish. Kong Binh very, very calm. Najm Nasser stranded. But what about the ball again? The captain coming into it again. Lovely vision, lovely weighted pass. Riedel can't believe what he's seeing.
Kong Binh is the golden child of Vietnamese football. He was played onside by a lazy Bashir Saeed, you would have to say. And that is a wonderful finish.
Unerring touch there. Summed it up quickly. Saw the keeper well off his line. And then just lobbed it over him into the unguarded goal. Min Fuong, the vision, the weight of the pass again. He's been instrumental in both goals. The captain leading from the front. Lovely run into the channel, Kong Van, and then beautiful left foot, unerring finish over the stranded goalkeeper into the empty net.
And Kong Van hit the running track and said, "I am the hero," as Ismail Mata nearly pulls one back just wide of Hong Sun's goal. Alfred Riedel has been playing down Vietnam's chances, saying we hope to cause a surprise. If we can get, maybe a point along the way, we'll be very happy with that. We're on the verge of 3 points with Japan and Qatar to play again tomorrow. And it'll be tough to get a ticket for the remaining games here at the My Dinh Stadium. Khaled Darwish, the fresh man. Min Fuong turns it over. Here's Kong Bin. Got Tan Bin alongside him. And look at the run being made on the far side by Tan Tai. Halal Saeed cuts it out. Those moments that turn games. You saw Faisal Khalil tugged in the box under the referee's nose. He waved play on. And then moments later, Kong Vin in the 73rd minute made it 2-0. And it's a tough ask now for the UAE. Alfred Riedel also said whoever loses this game is pretty much out of the tournament. Is that the fate awaiting the UAE? Here's Quang Tan, the first goal scorer, looking for Tan Bin. Ball just cut out comfortably by Tyen. Here's Kong Vin. He ran out of room and Jumar did well in the end. And not just the break that they got with the award that didn't come with the penalty, but Hong Sun save in the first half as well. They'll look back on that moment too.
There's been some moments that have shaped this game, haven't there? And let's not forget there was inches in another penalty claim. Free kick on the edge of the box earlier from Mata.
Dan Mien, who's done a lot of good things in the second half. It wasn't his best effort. Looking for Tan Bin, who'd straight offside anyway, but Bruno Metsu. There were rumours abounding just in recent months that Roger Lemaire was being lined up to take over the UAE role, which was surprising considering Metsu won the Gulf Cup. But they've been at pains to say that he's in charge until the 2010 World Cup. But this result against Vietnam could have a few knives out back in the Emirates. Min Fuong, just offside Kong Vin this time. And Najm Nasser takes out his anger by firing that ball into Kong Vin. And wait for this reception. You can see the man who's coming off. It's going to be Min Fuong, who hands the captain's armband over to Tyen. And it's going to be Min Chuen who comes on. But listen to this reception for their inspirational leader, Min Fuong.
He's been wonderful tonight. We talked about it earlier. Started to have some influence as that first half progressed. And then two pivotal possessions. Lovely vision, lovely weighted passes created both goals.
Sheehy fell in the box, but there's No suspicion of a penalty that time. Here's the new man. Put under pressure. And here's trouble for Hui Huang. A yellow card for the central defender. So both of Vietnam's central defenders now on yellow cards, which could come back to haunt them later in the group stage. And it's also offered a lifeline for the UAE to get back in the match.
Another dangerous position to give away a free kick. It was again sloppy play. A turnover in the front, in the back third. Allowed Khalil a sniff. Then a crude tackle from Huang brought him down.
Khalid Darwish, the substitute, lining this one up on the left foot. Ismail Matter is also there. Referee gets the wall back the full 10 yards. Looks like it will be Darwish. Again, over the bar and cheered by the Vietnamese public.
There we saw the sloppy ball played in. Khalil getting there just before Huang, who dived in, missed the ball, took the player. Always going to result in a yellow card. Very, very lucky to stay on the park.
Alfred Riedel has pulled off shocks before with this Vietnam team, and they beat South Korea in a qualifier for the 2004 Asian Cup 1-0. But in a major tournament in the final stage like we are here at the Asian Cup, this is a huge result on the cards against the reigning Golf Cup champions and former runners-up in the Asian Cup, of course, in 1996. Darwish goes down theatrically. And the UAE are going to make their second substitution. Amir Mubarak coming on for Halal Saeed.
Desperation time now. Metsu needs something, needs someone to step up. Haven't managed to get too many shots on target. We saw the stat before. Vietnam 7 shots on target to only 2 from the UAE.
And Saeed off a long run again. 3 for a goal kick. The substitute who just came on, Amir Mubarak, his father Ghanem and Uncle Khalil were the central defenders for the UAE at the 1984 and 88 Asian Cup finals, as well as the 1990 World Cup. And he's looking to go forward to the quarterfinals and outdo his dad, but it doesn't look good now. Cheap turnover from Yusuf Jabba, who was a surprise inclusion at left back. Mata again. Good challenge from the man wearing the captain's armband now. Huang. A bad ball in towards Tan Binh. This time Majid Nasser cleans things up. Alfred Riedel. He was in charge of the Austrian national team for their lowest moment in Austrian sport when they lost to the Faroe Islands in a European Championship qualifier back in 1991. And here he's on the verge of one of Vietnam's greatest moments in their sporting history. A 2-0 win in the Asian Cup finals. He's on the cards here. 7.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Khalid Darwish, a chance to pull one back, but finds it straight at Hong Sun. Frustration there on the face of Bruno Metsu. That time
Darwish did well, manoeuvred himself in a position to get the shot in. Again, no power. We've seen that a few times tonight. Players not getting any purchase on the ball. And not the sight he was hoping to see. 2-0 down in the opening game.
Another substitution, this time from the hosts. It'll be Tan Bin, who it is quite amazing that he isn't on the score sheet. Consider the chances he had. If he put one of those away, we're looking at, or one or two of those away, we're looking at 3-0 or 4-0. His replacement is Anduk.
He's worked hard, Tan Bin, without any result. I suppose the one good thing will be that he's found position to be able to score. Has to take that next step and actually put one in the back of the net. He was involved in the opening goal. Looked as though he had a total air swing on the ball from Phuong.
He's the new man, Anduk, combining with the other substitute. And Tan Tai, who's been a willing runner down that right flank, does enough to win a throw-in.
They really have worked that right flank well. Kong Tan, the opening scorer, and Tan Tai have been magnificent.
Here's Kong Bin, who surely wrapped up the points with that lovely lob of Majid Nasser, a cool finish from the 21-year-old striker. Taim, his influence has been there in the second half. Former captain. Here's Van Nien. Back to Taim. Wu Fong in a more central role. Not too much on it for Darwish, and look who's tracking back. It's Kong Vin.
Just nothing going right at the moment for the UAE. Unable to put any sustained pressure on Vietnam. Sloppy passing. What a night he's in store for.
Well, when Riedel announced his squad selection, there were 12 members of the under-23 team in the squad, and he was criticised. But he said they're good enough. He's seen that they're good enough. They've done so well in those Olympic qualifiers. He brought them in, and we've seen some of those youngsters like Tan Bin and Kong Vin play influential roles. But as we mentioned, the man who wore the captain's armband earlier, Min Phuong, was influential as well. Ismail Mata showing his skill. Here's Alo Ali. Another free kick on the edge of the area. There's been a few against the Emiratis.
That time New Tan guilty of the foul. They haven't made life easy for themselves. Goalkeepers hate these situations. There would have been 3 or 4 free kicks in this range. Fortunately for Vietnam, they haven't been able to hit the target thus far. But how many more times can you give them a chance?
And with 3 minutes plus stoppage time to go, now is the time. If they want to get something out of this, Wu Fong, for his protestations and time wasting, goes into the book as well. Again, that could come back to haunt him. Jimar floats it in. Free header for Faisal Khalil, who has not had a night to remember in front of goal.
He's been on the spot several times without getting the finishing touch. Mata with a little clip ball into the box, edge of the 6-yard box. Khalil on the spot, ahead of his defender. Nice jump, just couldn't get enough over the ball. I think Hong Sun had it covered anyway. He's had a wonderful night in goal. As one of the Vietnam players, I think it might be Quang Tan. feeling the effects of his clash there with Khalil.
The man who's written himself into Vietnamese football folklore with the opening goal here, the determined run from the halfway line, brought its reward, confirmation, and he has one goal to his credit. Might have a black eye to remember it by tomorrow morning.
They won't mind a few bruises tonight, I can tell you. This will be a very, very sweet victory for Vietnam if they hang on to this scoreline. And I'm sure the city will celebrate tonight.
Hanoi, the city of motorcycles. There'll be Vietnamese flags flying off the back of just about every one of them, you'd imagine. I was talking to a local Vietnamese journalist today who thought the stadium might be half full because Vietnamese people thought that they weren't going to win this game. They thought the UAE would be too strong, but Alfred Riedel has pulled off the shock here. That steely stare we saw from the opening whistle is still there. He's seen 2-0 advantages dissipate before, but surely not tonight at the My Dinh Stadium. They'll get a corner though, the UAE. Shot from Abir Mubarak, one of the substitutes, called on by Bruno Metsu to try and conjure a miracle. Al-Shihi with the corner. Floats it to Bashir Saeed, who tries to tee it up. Khalid Darwish. It's cleared to Kong Bin. He's happy to run with ball at feet and win a free kick.
Wonderful play there. Kong Bin, the 21-year-old. He took that ball and knew exactly what he wanted to do. He was going to milk the clock and hopefully draw the free kick, and that's exactly what he did. He ran 45 yards with the ball, drew 3 defenders, and then made them foul.
Well, there's a shock. 5 minutes of stoppage time. So an anxious wait for the fans, the coaches, and the players. Was through there. His first touch was better. The substitute may have been able to round out a 3-0 scoreline. Yusuf Jabba with a disappointing ball. Kong Bin, the scorer of the second goal. There's talk that this Asian Cup may be used as a shop window for him to go and play in a bigger league, to leave the B League behind, perhaps go to a J League or maybe China or Korea or somewhere like that to play. But Alfred Riedel has said that homesickness is the biggest thing holding back some of these Vietnamese players. They don't like going on the road. Here is Kong Bin, who's onside. He's going to milk the clock, showing all the professionalism. Those clubs who are watching, those potential scouts will be saying, well, he knows how to milk the clock as well.
And wonderful work again from Vu Phong on this left-hand side. He has run hard all night. That time, skipping past a couple of tackles into the 91st minute of the match. Still running very, very hard.
Mentioned that Alfred Riedel said the loser of this match, the tournament is basically over. Do you see it as that?
Well, obviously he's saying that because he feels that Japan will beat everyone in this group, but I'm not so sure. I mean, it's tournament play, the conditions are very, very difficult, and you never know what can happen. And we've seen enough surprises in world football that you can never make definitive comments like that. Obviously, very, very difficult for the Emirates if they lose this game, and I'd rather be in Vietnam's shoes, but no, I don't think it's over.
The substitute did well there. Well, that was definitely a free kick, but they won't mind that one going against them at this late stage. Bashir Saeed certainly caught Anduk, who cleverly got his left foot in and should have had a free kick on the edge of the area. Here's Mubarak. Back to the captain, Juma. Got Khalil and Matter on the edge of the area. The referee's letting everything go at the moment. Here's Amduk again. Might try and push it past Bashir Saeed, and this time there's no doubt about the free kick. And the yellow card he could have done without Bashir Saeed.
Been several yellow cards in a game that hasn't really been a dirty game. There hasn't really been too many bad fouls, but just some missed time tackles.
I think we're up to double figures in yellow cards, and Bashir Saeed could have no complaints about that one. Of course, 2 yellow cards in the group stages, and you'll miss the next game. So when you pick up yellow cards in the 90 in stoppage time at the end of games, pretty wasteful, especially when the points are already gone. So Vietnam just preparing their 3rd and final substitution, but play goes on. Tan tie. Zamduk. Min Chuen. Clever ball for Kong Vin. Will he milk the clock or look for a third? It's a great ball. The outside flag was up pretty quickly. But a well-angled ball from Kong Vin.
He's had a wonderful game, wonderful second half.
And it's all over for him. Fitting that Alfred Riedel lets the young man hear the applause of the fans. Fukiev is going to come on for Kong Vin. He was only just offside too, Arnduk. Alfred Riedel doesn't allow any body contact or any tackling in training sessions. The other day at a training session, Kong Vin was the only player on the end of a tackle. He made the defender do 10 push-ups straight away because he's had famous players go down in the past. But Kong Vin sealed the points tonight. Our Lebanese referee blows full time, and a famous victory for Vietnam. They got a draw back in 1956. They haven't been to the Asian Cup since 1960, and now Alfred Riedel has pulled off the biggest shock so far in the tournament, a 2-0 win against the UAE.
And they were good value for that win too. Wonderful attacking play. The Emirates will feel disappointed. They felt there may have been a foul involved in the opening goal. They felt they may have had a penalty kick at 1-0, but it didn't go their way.
So at full time at the My Dinh Stadium in Hanoi, a famous night for Vietnamese football. 2-0 winners over the Emirates.
Well, what a tremendous result from the Babes of Vietnam. Average age only 23, and one gets the feeling that given their situation with the final stage of qualifying for the Olympic Games, their coach has decided to stack the team with Olympic players to prepare for an Olympic qualification perhaps.